Hey, fishy people. This is what's going to be the new fish room. Old 100-gallon tank. This was my big Planet tank. I've taken it down. This was the 40-gallon Planet. I've taken that down also. Obviously, a lot of tanks on the ground here. New 180-gallon. It's looking really green in this video. In real life, it looks a lot more yellow. That's because there's heavy tannins due to the fresh wood. Or not fresh. It was dead wood, but due to the wood I put in there and the massive amount of soil. I've got like 500 pounds of substrate in this tank when it comes to the rock, the sand, and the soil put together. I've done other videos on how I do that soil, but that's Happy Frog. You can see it over here. Happy Frog on the bottom and sand on the top. That's cheapo playground sand, $5 for 50 pounds. Some gravel in there, some big rocks, and a lot of manzanita. I am running a twin 175 watts. There's 275 watt metal halide bulbs in there. I'm going to give that a go. I usually do LEDs and fluorescents, but I'm going to do the metal halide because I happen to have it and it's a big tank. This one got put in backwards, but this is the old 75. I moved it as is, obviously drained the water, but moved all the plants, so it's super disheveled. I have all of my fish in there from all three of my freshwater tanks. So it's a little bit crammed right now. It is on the old sump system. This is temporary. These fish are going into this tank over here. I'm just waiting for this tank to cycle, and they're going to be fine in there as is. I'm overstocking, which decreases the aggression, but I have plenty of filtration, so I'm not going to have any nitrate, ammonia, or nitrite issues to deal with. Not super pretty, but got all my electrical up above the water level, out of the way on the fireboard, so that's what I'm doing. Saltwater tank moved pretty good. Still need to put a lot of coral on the rocks and start ordering stuff, but it did fine with the move. You know, I was bagged all this stuff separately, so it sure should have. 100-gallon tank. I've got a whole bunch of floating plants in here, and that's about it right now. This is going to be most likely a saltwater large fish holding tank, or for certain customers, like I have a couple of good customers that order a bunch of fish at a time. So it's on its own system, some system down here, bio balls. It can deal with a big bio load being thrown in there at one time once it's cycled. Obviously not saltwater right now, but it will be. And so, you know, if I have a customer that wants 7 fish, wants me to order them in, quarantine them, hold them together, make sure they're eating, make sure they get along together, I'll throw them in this tank and do that with them. 55 down here is just for water changes. A bag of salt does 50 gallons, so that not completely filled is 50 gallons. Real easy to mix my salt in there and then pump it into either the sump or the sump over here, which are my saltwater sumps. Rest of the room right now is fairly empty aside from just a bunch of equipment. I've got a whole bunch of tanks underneath this table. I've got my shrimp, which obviously I had to move. Dehumidifier, that's actually a subwoofer, I don't know why that's there. But this whole table will end up being tanks. 100-gallon tank is again going to be most likely a saltwater fish-only tank. Not for me, but for customers so I can order stuff in. There will be another table that goes a little bit lower than this. Let me move over. So this is like the corner of, this is my garage. So there's going to be another table here, and then all along the back is going to be my shrimp tank. So if you can imagine all the back of this being shrimp tanks, 10 to 20 gallons, 100 gallon, I don't know, I might put another 40 or something up here. Lower rack, and that's going to be saltwater reef frag tanks. So a lot of coral, you know, shallow tanks, 50 gallon. I want to do 4 50-gallon tanks, 200 gallons in total. For just the incoming coral that I'm going to be ordering, because I hope to make that a large part of my business. I really enjoy ordering coral, especially when I'm ordering at wholesale, and you know, I'm just jazzed on that. So move-wise, it was a very successful move. I had a lot of help. Started real early. I started just bagging up coral, cut all the fish, put them in that garbage can with the bubbler, and drained the tanks. Took down 2 of the tanks, bagged up all the plants, saran wrapped the tanks, put them in a car, bagged up the fish last moment, and threw them in styrofoam boxes. I still got piles of styrofoam boxes over here. And you know, drove like crazy. It was like a 3-hour drive, so that wasn't fun. And then I put the tanks down, filled them up as fast as I could. Luckily, I had a whole bunch of heaters to heat water and get everything conditioned. You know, obviously, I need, there's micro bubbles blowing in here, so I need to adjust the sump and certain pieces of equipment. But all in all, it went really well. Again, I need to get rid of tannins in here, but that's no big deal. Throw some Purigen in there. I'm really excited. It's might not seem like it, but this is actually a larger space than I had before. And I've got a cement floor, which is really, really nice. A little bit more electrical, you know, electricity in here for me to use. So I plan to ramp it up. Real excited about that. If anyone's wondering, this is on a canister right now. This will eventually be plumbed into the same sump as this. And this will eventually be redone. But as of right now, I don't want to fudge with it. Those plants are good, they're going, and that's my filtration for that system. But yeah, so, you know, this is my current project. Hopefully it wasn't too loud in here. I realize I've got some crashing water, which is coming from my saltwater system I need to adjust. But things are going good. I'm real excited. I hope your tank's doing well. Have a good one, guys. Bye.